Hey, third period, can you hear me now? We're going to try something today. I'm not sure it's going to work. We'll go through some examples. If it works, great. And if it doesn't, I will try a different method for my next one. This is section 8.1 in the book. And we are working on goals. Our goal today is operations with exponents. Just to start in the very beginning, x is called the base. 3 is called the exponent. Exponents mean repeated multiplication. When you see something written like this, that means it's an exponential form. Expanded form, if I ask you to write something in expanded form, if I give you the problem that says x cubed, that means x times x times x. The exponent is telling you how many times you're repeating the multiplication of the base. Okay, so our first example, we have x squared times x cubed times x to the fourth. X squared means x times x. X cubed means x times x times x. X to the fourth means x times x times x times x. We want to know how many times we're repeating the multiplication of x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My answer in exponential form would be x to the ninth. Now, there is a shortcut that you might be able to find doing that problem, but I'm not going to tell it to you. So if you can figure that one out, you can use a shortcut. Okay, next problem is 5 cubed times 5 to the 6th. We're going to write that in expanded form, which is going to be 5 times 5 times 5. That's our 5 cubed. Then we're going to do 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. There's our 5 cubed. 1, 2, 3. 5 to the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many total do we have? We're going to write this in exponential form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Our answer would be 5 to the ninth. Okay, unless they ask you to find a value, we're going to be writing it in exponential form. If they ask you to find the value of that, you would put into your calculator 5 caret key 9 to get an answer. Okay, the next problem is when we have a power to a power. So, for example, the problem would be y squared to the fourth power. What does it mean to do something to the fourth power? That means we're going to write out the y squared 4 times. Y squared times y squared times y squared times y squared. We know that each of those y squareds means y times y. So we have a y times y, and a y times y, and a y times y, and a y times y. And if we count all those y's up, we have 2, 4, 6, 8. Our answer in exponential form would be y to the 8th. Okay. Next problem, x to the fourth, x to the fourth cubed. You might want to push pause and see if you can get the answer to that one. X to the fourth cubed means we're going to do x to the fourth 3 times. So we have x to the fourth times x to the fourth times x to the fourth. We know that x to the fourth means x times x times x times x, and x times x times x times x, and x times x times x times x. And when we add up all of our x's, we have 4, we have 8 because we're multiplying all these together, and we have 4 more, which gives us x to the 12th when we write that in exponential form. Okay, moving on to some more detailed problems. Example 3 is 2xy, the quantity cubed, which means 2xy times 2xy times 2xy. Now, it might be easier for you because the commutative property for multiplication says we can rearrange this, to rearrange this and make it 2 times 2 times 2, and then x times x times x, and then y times y times y, so that all the like things are together. We can multiply 2 times 2 and get 4, and multiply 4 times 2 and get 8. X times x times x, how many times are we repeating the multiplication of x? That would be 3 times. And y times y times y, we're multiplying y times itself 3 times. So our final answer there would be x to the third, y to the third times 8. We're putting the 8 first. Okay. Next question, example 4 is negative 3a, the quantity squared. Exponents only affect what's directly beside them unless there's a parenthesis. The parenthesis means we're squaring everything. So we're doing negative 3a times negative 3a. Commutative property says we can rearrange that if we want to. So we have negative 3 times negative 3 times a times a. Negative 3 times negative 3 will give me positive 9. A times a will give me a squared. So our final answer there would be 9a squared. Now, a problem that looks somewhat similar to this one, but is a little bit different, this says the opposite of 3a squared. Okay, so if you want to think of this as doing negative 1 times 3a squared, that might help you see what that negative is going to do. We're not squaring the negative 1, or we're not squaring that opposite. We're squaring 3a. So we're doing 3a times 3a times a negative 1, or doing the opposite of our answer here. 3 times 3, we can rearrange this. A times a gives me my, and we still have that negative 1 out there. 3 times 3 is 9. A times a is a squared. We're now multiplying that by negative 1 to give us a final answer here of negative 9a squared. Do you see the difference between this problem here that started out as the opposite? Let's get that negative sign back in there. The opposite of 3a squared, and this one, which was the quantity of 3a, the quantity squared. Okay. Last problem. This problem says the opposite of 3a squared. If we wrote that in expanded form, it would be like taking negative 1 times 3 times a times a. Okay. Those are the basics of the problems. I'm going to give you an assignment in the book. It's going to be all odds so that you can check them in the back of the book. Give me a second and I will. It's going to be page 492. I'm running out of room here. Where can I write this? Page 492. It was going to be 3 through 35, the column. Okay, I still want you to do the column, but I only want you to do the odds in the column because I want you to check them in the back of the book. Remember, if you go to the back of the book, all the odd problems, the answers are given to you. So I want you to try that in the next couple days. Today's Thursday. I'm going to try and do a Zoom tomorrow during my my math office hours. If you have questions, you can log on and we can go through some things there. If not, I will give you till Monday to try some of those problems, and we'll get back together on Monday and see what you got. Hope your day is going well. Miss you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.